EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin joins us to discuss. Lee, I think it's a complicated structure for everybody. We use all these big words and we talk about building and chemicals and AI and gigawatts. Break it down for us in the most simplistic way.
We have a race to be the AI capital of the world, and we have to win it. There's uncertainty out there. There are people who are spooked by AI, and they're concerned about possible lost jobs. They're worried about who's going to control information in the future. Those concerns are understandable, but if we just hit the brakes and let China win this race, it's going to be a lot harder, maybe impossible, to catch up later. Now, to win this race, it requires more baseload power here in the United States. And the good news is that we have all sorts of different investment coming in. It's amounting into the trillions, where ground is already being broken for data centers across the country. I mean, I've seen it from West Memphis, Arkansas, $4 billion Google data center that just broke ground. I was in Cheyenne, Wyoming, where Microsoft has new data centers that are getting built. It's happening all throughout America, and that's a good thing. Unfortunately, what was happening with the last administration at the EPA, they were putting all sorts of regulations to go after baseload power, to suffocate entire sectors of our economy, as if in order to protect the environment, we have to stunt growth of our economy. What we're seeking to do is launch very proudly, unapologetically, a great deregulation campaign while protecting the environment. We're rolling back some of these rules that were designed to put coal out of business altogether. It's something President Trump does not support, and we've been reversing that in earnest this year.
Well, I have to tell you, Jerry Willis here, the left is saying that the U.S. federal government, you guys are extending the life of some 15 coal plants, that you're going to have dangerous chemicals in some of these power centers. And let me tell you, I've driven through Northern Virginia where there are scores of these things. And it's not just the left that's mounting an offense against these things. It's also people who live around them who don't love them. Tell me, what's at stake here and why it's so important we find a way to get these things up and running?
Well, listen, I've visited coal plants in West Virginia, in Tennessee, in coal operations in Kentucky and North Dakota. And in my travels, these are lifelines for local communities, regions, for the economy, for affordable energy. And I've only been coming in contact with very passionate advocates who reject the left's message that all of these coal workers should just learn how to code. They don't think that they should just be getting rid of baseload power. These local residents don't look at intermittent sources like wind and solar as a substitute for baseload power. So messaging that might work for fundraising appeals of environmental NGOs in places like New York or California don't connect with these states that rely on coal, and they don't want to see these coal plants go out. There might be some environmentalists who want to push out messaging from places like New York and California as if they speak for all of these states where these coal operations are supporting the economy. But I'm coming across communities that absolutely don't want their coal plants to be put out of business, and they feel quite passionately about it. The message should not be that they should just learn how to code.
Lee, as we start to look at different alternatives for energy, what's the next step? Once you solve the coal problem, where do we move to next? Nuclear?
Absolutely. I was in Idaho Falls, Idaho, where ground was just broken on a new Oklo nuclear site, and they have plans to build many more of these. These small modular reactors are being discussed across the country. And when I was just referencing a Google $4 billion project in West Memphis, Arkansas for a data center, they were first to point out that in Arkansas, they have a source of nuclear power that helped them put together a deal that created an over $1 billion benefit for the Entergy ratepayer. That's the energy company in that particular area. We're also seeing a push to build more natural gas pipelines, whether it's an LNG pipeline that has support alongside the Trans-Alaska Pipeline in Alaska, We just saw an approval for Nessie Pipeline of the Williams Company to deliver natural gas into Long Island. There's support to get Constitution Pipeline built to deliver natural gas from Pennsylvania into New England, and a big $5.3 billion Transwestern pipeline expansion to deliver natural gas from the Permian into Arizona. So the natural gas push is also something that we're hearing a lot about, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of opportunity. And you want to you think bigger? You want to talk batteries, magnets, chips. From tapping into rare earth to building out the entire supply chain, there's so much investment coming across the entire spectrum of all these topics we're covering here in this conversation.
Well, you're talking about a multi-pronged strategy here. I just want to ask you a very quick question before we go here. We don't have a lot of time. But the real challenge is not those 15 coal plants the left is arguing about. It's whether we can ramp up fast enough to get the leverage we need in the AI contest. Can we do it?
Great question. Absolutely. And I've noticed that EPA is that we have the power to be able to slow things down. We also have the power to speed things up. We're moving at Trump speed. We're working with the other agencies with equities. We're advancing cooperative federalism and working with states. We're getting this done fast, and proud of it.
Great. Thank you, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin. Thank you for your time.